Hey everyone, Kenyatta Turner here with Freedom Empire Consulting, and I'm here for Freedom Friday Live. Now I'm going to say that again. Kenyatta here with Freedom Empire Consulting, and I am live in a couple of places. So check out what I decided to do today. So I'm going to be looking in a couple different directions. I might look at you over here. I might look at you right here. I might look over here because I decided today that I was going to try to go live in as many places as possible and use some gadgets to make that happen. So if you're watching this and you might be on Facebook on my Facebook page. You may be in my Facebook group called the Personal Development Party, Self-Motivation and Self-Improvement and Motivation for Positive Pals. You could be watching there. You could be watching on my YouTube channel right now. You may be watching on LinkedIn Live right now, or you may be on Instagram watching over here as well. And I hardly ever do Instagram lives. So there's that. But I did one the other day. So I'm going to start doing more of those. So I decided to see, could I go live in all these places and just say what I need to say one time and it just be all the places that it needs to be. So I'm checking over here to see if I'm live in a couple places that I think I am. Oh, but I need to stop that because I don't need to be able to hear that. Hold on. And I'm not a pro at going live at multiple places at once. So if we have some technical difficulties, then whatever, I will figure them out. So thanks for being here, watching from wherever you are. It is Freedom Friday Live, where I go live every Friday to share a little bit about a quote around freedom. And I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Give updates, maybe have random banter. Maybe I have a guest on here with me sometimes. And sometimes I will just throw the StreamYard link into one of the chats to see who is daring enough to want to join me on the interwebs on StreamYard. So maybe you want to join me. I don't know. And if you are watching, then of course, tell me in the chat, where are you watching from? Are you hashtag team replay? Are you hashtag team live? And then where are you watching from? Because I'm just nosy and I want to know that. So let's jump into it because this is not going to be a long live as I go forward here. So hello. Hey, I see Mary joined. Hey, Mary. I see Mary is over here on Instagram Live. I just hit the little wave button. I'm learning about Instagram and all the different things you can do there. So I appreciate you being there, Mary. And I want to chat and catch up with you, by the way. So here's the thing. Every Friday, I will post a quote around the concept of freedom. Now, my company is called Freedom Empire Consulting, if you haven't figured that out yet. And why did I name my company that? Well, first and foremost, it's because I believe in the word freedom in all the different contexts that it exists. Freedom of mind, body, spirit, freedom of movement, freedom of thought. I mean, I could go on, and I actually do go on. And that's why I do these Freedom Fridays, because I always love how other people interpret the word freedom, because it means something different to different people. So right now I have a quote up here. And hey, I'm so glad you're watching. I have a quote up here from Sandi Amorim. Now, here's the thing. If you've watched my Freedom Fridays, that you know that I will have a different quote every week from someone else. But I never tell you anything about the person who said the quote other than their name. And you can read the name right there. Or if you're watching on Instagram, the name is Sandi Amorim. And it's SandiAmorim, because you might not be able to see that. And you can go ahead and find her actually here on Instagram if you want to check it out. However, but I never tell you much about that person. And why? Is because I inspire you to do your own research. So you might be thinking, well, I don't know, that sucks. Why don't you just tell us what you want us to know about them? It's because I do not want to limit you in your learning. So you go and look up the person if you don't know who they are or know anything about them, because you may find something about them that I never would have thought to tell you other than this quote. So the quote from her is, self-forgiveness is an act of reclaiming freedom from your past. Self-forgiveness is an act of reclaiming your freedom from your past. So I want to know, what do you think about that quote? Put that in the chat. Put that in the comments. What does that mean to you? Now, I'm going to tell you what I wrote earlier in my Freedom Friday post. I said, and I'll read it to you now. So I say, Happy New Day, Happy New Year, right? As a noun, freedom is the power to write, act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. So this is just one interpretation. So let's say, let's explore because there's so many more. Now, I love this quote by Sandi Amorim as it is a stark reminder of the importance of forgiveness and gratitude for yourself. Now, freedom from the past, that is profound. So think about all of the times that we spent lamenting about events or feelings that we've had in the past that are no longer in our control. I say there is no harm in that unless you are doing yourself harm. So sometimes we cannot let go or forgive ourselves or even others, and we cast our own chains upon ourselves in the process. So I also put that we have a deep and objective, when we have a deep and objective level of self-awareness and behavioral self-awareness, when we have that understanding of who we are and why we are, it's so much easier to understand why the way things may have been, how they have been. Now that allows you to move forward into freedom of mind, body, and spirit. So again, freedom is an absolute state of mind. And again, the quote from Sandi Amorim is self-forgiveness is an act of reclaiming your freedom from the past. So what are your thoughts about this quote? I would love to know. So if you have something you're thinking about and you're like, wow, this means this to me, or something you want to share, then I encourage you to just put a comment in the comments about how you feel or what you think. I would love to hear it. And someone else out there probably wants to hear it as well. So I see a couple of people are joining from Instagram Live. Hey there. I just clicked the little wave button. I don't know what really happens when you click that button, but it's there, so I'm going to click it anyway. And then the one thing I want to mention is that if you're watching me on Facebook Live, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, then you can see the quote, the Freedom Friday quote, but you can also see across the bottom of the screen the next thing I'm going to speak about, which is a free 3-day behavioral vision challenge that I'm doing on January 25th through 27th. So here's the thing. If you pay attention to what I speak and train about, then you know I'm always talking about behavior. I have a little hashtag behavior matters, hashtag behavior matters. I'm always talking about that. And you may not really understand what that means when I'm saying that. And you might hear me talk about behavioral superpowers and how everybody has them, right? My behavioral superpowers is I am an outgoing, fast-paced influencer. And that is not an influencer that has anything to do with social media, because I'm not a social media influencer yet, but the word has to do with the natural behavioral style that I have and that I am, that I always have been. And so me and my company, Freedom Empire Consulting, I coach, train, and teach this information through Freedom Empire, but I'm also business partners with the founders of Dream Smart Academy. Dream Smart Academy is probably, I would have to say, the only single source behavioral science firm that is owned by people who look like me. We like to say we're the only Black-owned behavioral science firm out there. We fall under the same category as other psychometric assessments like Myers-Briggs, Kolbe's, Enneagram, DISC, Strength Finders. I can go on and on. There's thousands of them, but we are different in very many things. One, we're owned by people who look like me, okay? And that's not necessarily the case with a lot of those companies. Also, we measure something different than they measure, meaning a lot of times those psychometric assessments are measuring learned behavior. They're measuring what changes over time. And that's powerful because, again, as you grow and change and develop yourself, it's good to take remeasure where you're at so you know how to move forward. Well, we measure what does not change. And what does not change is who you are and why you are. That's the baseline that we give you. I can tell you this. Every single personal development coach, motivational speaker, trainer, anyone that you speak to, Oprah, will all say, you need to have self-awareness. You need to understand who you are and why you are. You need to know what your unique gifts, skills, talents, and abilities are, and then work with that. But then after they tell you how important it is for you to know that, then they just leave it flat. Why? It's because they can't really show it to you. Everyone has an idea of maybe how that might work. Maybe you should journal about it. Maybe you should meditate about it. Maybe you should sit down and write out your goals and think about it in that way, right? Reflect on who you are and also who you want to be. But our behavioral tool can tell you exactly that objectively. Not subjectively. How many times have you said to yourself or someone else has said, hey, what are your behavioral superpowers? Or my superpowers are, Not what are your behavioral superpowers? What are my superpowers? Well, you can think what your superpowers are, and you can even develop what you want them to be. But it's a very different thing when you just know what they are scientifically. And that's what I do. So I want to give you the opportunity to find out objectively what your behavioral superpowers are. So this 3-day challenge, when you sign up for it, the first thing you're going to get is the link to take the behavioral exercise, which only takes about 10 or 15 minutes. And as soon as you're done, you're going to get a report that's going to tell you a little bit of information about what your behavioral superpowers are. But when you come to the challenge, I'm going to help you to decode that information, not only about yours, but about other people's behavioral superpowers, because there's 10 of them. Okay. Then I'm also going to teach you with that information how you can work to craft your burning desire statement, your aspirational vision statement. Right now, it's the 21st of January. Many of you started January with New Year's resolutions, New Year's commitments, New Year's goals, whatever you want to call them. I don't even care. Whatever it is, you came into the new year because it's a new day, new year, and you're going to do things differently. But we know that many people by this time of the month have already gone back to their old habits. They had this fresh outlook. It was brand new. They were excited and inspired, but then life just continued on like life does. And we found ourselves back where we started and maybe even farther behind. That can be a challenge, but that's real. That happens to people all the time. So if you're there and you're like, I need a reset. Can I just get a reset, please? Please, someone give me a reset right now, because I started out strong and then now I'm frustrated. So that's what I'm going to do. If you join the free 3-day behavioral vision challenge, you're going to have an opportunity to get a reset, because you may have set goals with no vision. So if you aren't focused on the goals and don't have the right actions and don't know what to measure, it may be because you didn't start out with an actual vision in the first place. And that's oftentimes what people do. They do not want to do the hard, solid thinking about what it is they actually want, which then is going to allow them to get into flow to make that happen. That's what we're going to talk about in the challenge. And I'm going to help you set some very specific goals once you've done the vision that you can work on over the next 12 weeks to drive your aspirational vision forward. Because I can tell you this, and thank you so much for those of you who are watching this, but I can tell you that if you have this aspirational vision for yourself, let's say you want to buy a new house or build an amazing business or have a yacht or travel and all this, then I bet there's some things that you should be doing over the next 12 weeks to make that happen. Aren't there? When you think about what you want to accomplish in 2022 and you say, I want to do this in 2022, my question to you is, how do you know what you're going to be doing in October of 2022? What should you be working on in October? You can speculate that now, but too many things change. There's too many factors, too many unknowns appear. Like, whoa, a pandemic just comes out of nowhere, right? Changes the game. So if you have short little goals that you're focused on in a short amount of time, and you are diligent and intentional, and you hit that hard in a tiny little window of time, you have more opportunity to make changes when things need to change. You can see the end of the thing, as opposed to something that's 8-9 months away from now. I'm not saying don't have a vision for 8-9 months from now. I'm not saying don't have a vision for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. But when it comes to execution of goals specifically, seems like you should be focusing on something that is minute in the moment, today, not October, today. What should you be doing today if you wanted to accomplish your aspirational vision? What does that look like? Right now, you might be watching me. Hey, right? But what about when you're done watching me? What are you going to do? Like, what's your plan? What's your vision? What should you be working on? Do you have a schedule? Do you even know? I have no idea. I know that the 3-day behavioral vision challenge is going to help you figure that stuff out behaviorally, because how you do anything behaviorally is how you do everything. Hey, Della, I see you watching over here on IG Live. So how you do anything is how you do everything behaviorally, all day, every day. I don't care who you are, where you are in the country. I don't care what age you are. It's the same. If you're always spontaneous, you're always spontaneous, and that's how you're going to grow your business. That's how you're going to go grocery shopping. That's how you're going to clean your house. That's how you're going to date. That's how you're going to be in your relationships. That's how you're going to treat your relationship with your children. That's how you're going to do everything. If you're extremely planned, that's going to be how you do everything. But which are you? And how do you know? Is it your opinion, or do you have validated behavioral insights that show you from a scientific perspective how you're going to show up 91% of the time? That is what I'm going to gift to you when you sign up for the Behavioral Vision Challenge. So you see it in there in the bottom. Yeah. It's a long link. It's not a little fancy vanity link, but it's freedomempireconsulting.com/behavioral vision challenge. And actually, that is the wrong link. I'm looking at it going, that's not the link. It's supposed to be 3-day behavioral vision challenge. I think that's what it is. So hold please while I verify something really quick here. So some of you might be going to that link going, that's not the right link. And if I go over here, I told you, I said, I got all these things going on right now. And yeah, let me put the right link in there. Jeez. Yeah, this is how things happen when you're running the live show by yourself. Let's see. Now let's try it. There it is. There's the right link. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link in the comments and the post for all these places to fix, my little boo-boo, whatever. So here is the right link, and I'll put the comments in there or whatever. The link is freedomempireconsulting.com/3-day behavioral vision challenge. Sign up. It's free, and I can't wait. And you're going to have some information that's going to be in my personal development party Facebook group. So I'm excited about that. Now, the last thing I will mention before I move on is there's so many fun things going on. And I oftentimes forget to say, hey, I'm an author. Like, I'm an author. I'm writing stuff. And I want to let you know what I'm writing. So I will also put the links in the chat as well, because there's 2 things I'm a part of right now that I'm so excited about. And the premiere for one of them is next week. And it is The Art of Connection, 365 Days of Inspirational Quotes. This book is put out by iNetrepreneur Network. If you don't know them, check them out, look them up. Thank you so much, Robert Jones and Sean Jones. I'm excited to be a part of this organization, a part of this book anthology with, hundreds of other writers and authors who all contributed a inspirational quote, and then a thought around that quote, and then a question around that quote. So I'm so excited at that. Now, if you go to the book and you have the book, my quote is on April 5th. You get to choose a day that you want the book on, 365 days. And I choose April 5th. Why? Because that's my birthday. It's an easy date to pick. That comes out, and the premiere is on January 27th. So next week is the book premiere, and I'll make sure I post the link in the chat for that, because you're going to want to attend the book premiere and meet the different authors and hear from my business partner, Jeff Morris, who's going to be speaking at that event, who's the founder and chief dream maker of Dream Smart Academy. So many exciting things. He has a place in the book as well. So does Suki Jeffries. I know she's in the book. I know Karen Green's in the book, and a ton of other people. I mean, obviously, but just a couple shout outs right there. So that's really cool. But then I'm part of a book anthology that I'm extremely excited about called The 8 Qualities of the Exceptional Black Woman. Now, I was asked to write the introduction to this book, and I am so over the moon, honored and inspired. So Michelle Thomas, thank you so much for gifting me the opportunity to do that and trusting me with that. That book releases on February 15th. I'll also post some information in the chat and the comments about that as well. And that's called 8 Qualities of the Exceptional Black Woman. And of course, I'm speaking about behavior in there because, again, behavior matters all day, every day. It just does. And then the last thing is I have an ebook. Did you know I had an ebook? Did you know that I had an ebook? Hey, David, I see you're watching as well. What's up? So yeah, I've got an ebook, and that's pretty cool because I have it, and it's called Discover, Uncover, and Unleash Your Behavioral Superpowers. And I've not yet started putting it out there. So you're going to hear me see me putting a link to the ebook if you want to read it. I'm so excited to share it with you. And that's like my own book. So I've got a couple of anthologies I've been a part of, but then I have my own ebook, and it's time for me to unleash it and share it with you and stop keeping it a secret. And that's enough for now. The last thing that I'll put up here is that, and you may know that I am also a radio show host. So I host a live radio show called the Healthy Grocer Radio Show. And it is, you can listen to it live on moneyradio1510.com. You can also stream it on moneyradio1510.com. But if you're in Arizona, you turn your little radio dial to 105.3 AM, 1510 AM and 105.3 FM KFNN radio. We are on every single Saturday at 11 o'clock. And we talk about all things related to health and wellness, naturopathic, holistic methods of healing. We talk about mind, body, and spirit. And this weekend, actually, my business partner, Jeff Morris, is my honored guest on the show, along with my co-host, Stephanie Stanley. And the topic is, what is your superpower? No pun intended. We've been talking about that, right? So again, we have the show every single Saturday, 11 o'clock Arizona time. You can watch it live on the Facebook page. You can go to the website. You can go to the radio, and all the shows are recorded. You can listen to all the past episodes since July every single week on healthygrocerradioshow.com. So I've got that scrolling across the bottom. If you are on Instagram Live, hey, thanks for watching. And go to my bio on Instagram Live or Instagram and click the little, I have one of those Socia tap links. So you can click there, get information about the radio show, get information about the 3-day challenge, and whatever other goodies that I have posted there as well. So that's it. About 20 minutes of Freedom Friday Live. One last reminder, the quote is, self-forgiveness is an act of reclaiming your freedom from the past. If you identify with that, if you need to give yourself some grace and some self-forgiveness and to break the chains that you may be holding on yourself because you're clinging to a past that no longer serves you, it's one thing to learn from the past. It's another thing to cling on to something that no longer serves you. So free yourself through self-forgiveness and gratitude. That quote is by Sandi Amorim. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have much gratitude for you. My name is Kenyatta Turner, CEO and founder of Freedom Empire Consulting, where I coach, influence, and protect. And I'm excited that you are here. I'll see you next week, and you'll probably see me again anyway over the next couple of weeks. Don't forget the 3-day behavioral challenge starting next Tuesday, the 25th through the 27th. Register for free, find out what your behavioral superpower is, and let me help you craft your behavioral vision and come up with some goals that you are going to crush over the next 12 weeks. I'm excited. See you guys later. Enjoy the weekend. Bye. Oh, hashtag behavior matters. Have a good one. See you later. Oh, and bye on Instagram over here too. Let's see. Let's end the broadcast here.